Hey everyone, and welcome. So, what if I told you that building wealth has nothing to do with being stingy and everything to do with being smart? Today, we're going to look at 9 common things we all buy and how rethinking them can free up a lot of money, not just to save it, but to actually build a richer, freer future. Let's dive in.
We've all heard this, right? That to get rich, you've got to count every single penny and live a life of sacrifice. But you know what? That's not really the whole picture. What if the real secret to getting ahead financially isn't about saving it all, but about something way more powerful? And this right here is the big idea. The goal isn't just to have a pile of cash sitting in the bank. Nope. It's about spending less on the stuff that doesn't really matter so you can take that money and put it to work. You let it grow, build on itself, and create real, lasting wealth for you. So let's just completely reframe this. This isn't about what you're giving up. It's all about what you're gaining. Every single time you decide not to buy something, you're actually making a choice to buy something way better, like your own future freedom. Okay, so first things first, let's challenge a few of these common ideas about what's valuable. We're going to start by looking at a few things where that initial emotional rush might be hiding a seriously high price tag. You know what I'm talking about. That new car smell, the perfectly shiny paint, the thrill of being the very first person behind that wheel. It feels great, right? It's a huge status symbol. But what's the real cost of that feeling? Well, here's the cold, hard truth. A brand new car can lose about 10% of its value the second you drive it off the lot. And as you can see here, in just 3 short years, it could be worth 60% less than what you paid for it. So the question is that new car feeling really worth thousands of dollars just vanishing into thin air? Next up, the sale. Oh, we love a good sale. Those big signs yelling 50% off are literally designed to trick our brains into feeling like we're being smart. But look at this difference because it is crucial. If you were already going to buy that shirt and now it's on sale, awesome, you saved money. But if that sale sign convinced you to buy it, you didn't save a thing. You just spent money you had no intention of spending. And what about tech upgrades? This is a perfect example of what they call diminishing returns. Getting your very first smartwatch? Whoa, that's a game changer. The happiness you get is huge. But going from last year's model to this year's, honestly, the improvement is tiny, and so is that little boost of happiness you feel. So you really have to ask yourself, is that tiny 5% bump in happiness from a slightly faster gadget worth giving up the money you could have used for a weekend getaway, a new class, or an experience that you'd remember for the rest of your life? Okay, so if we stop buying all this stuff that just loses its value, where should that money actually go? Well, let's talk about putting it into things that actually last, shifting from temporary items to what you could call permanent assets. And without a doubt, the single best investment you can ever make is in yourself. They call this human capital. Think about it. Fashion trends fade, your car gets old, but knowledge, once you have it, it is yours forever. No one can take it away. It's the ultimate appreciating asset. And one of the best ways to build it is just by reading. But you don't have to spend a fortune to do it. Here's a really smart system. Only buy physical copies of the books you absolutely love and know you'll read again. For pretty much everything else, use an e-reader. Or even better, use free library apps like Libby to borrow ebooks. You get all of the knowledge with zero cost and zero clutter. It's a win. This exact same idea applies to your closet. Fast fashion gives you that quick thrill, but the clothes fall apart, they go out of style in a season, and they just create a mess. Investing in a few high-quality, timeless pieces might cost a bit more upfront, but it saves you money and mental energy in the long run. It just makes your life simpler. And as you start investing your money, whether it's in stocks or in yourself, please remember this. Even if you hire a financial advisor, at the end of the day, it's your money. You have to take the time to understand where it's going. That's what empowers you to make choices that actually line up with what you want out of life. All right, for our last section, let's talk about the hidden costs. The things we buy that actually cost us something way more valuable than money, our time and our peace of mind. This leads us to this idea of time value. Let's take getting your nails done, for example. It's not just about the money you pay. It's the 2 hours you spend sitting in that chair. 2 hours you can never get back. Hours you could have used to work on a side hustle, learn something new, or just hang out with your family. When you think of it that way, the true cost is so much higher. The same thing goes for travel. We feel this weird pressure to buy souvenirs. But let's be honest, they usually just end up collecting dust on a shelf. Instead of buying another keychain, why not invest that energy in capturing the memory itself? Writing about it in a journal or making a simple little video will bring that experience back to life way better than any trinket ever could. And finally, let's talk about gifts. How often do we spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars just out of social obligation, especially around the holidays? This number here is the average for a British adult at Christmas. That is a huge amount of money, often spent on things that people don't even really want or need. So here's a super simple solution: a no unnecessary present pact. Seriously, just make an agreement with your friends and family to stop the endless cycle of obligatory gift giving. It takes all the financial pressure and stress off of everybody, so you can just focus on what actually matters: spending time together. So, as we start to wrap this up, the big takeaway is this. This isn't about a strict list of rules you have to follow. It's about you becoming the author of your own financial story by making conscious choices that line up with the kind of life you actually want to live. This right here is the mantra to take with you. Before you buy anything, just ask yourself this one simple question. Am I buying this because it will genuinely bring me joy and value? Or am I just doing it out of habit or maybe to impress someone else? Answering that honestly can literally change everything. And I'll leave you with this final thought. You don't have to make some massive change overnight. What is one small trade-off you can make just this week? Maybe it's skipping one coffee out to buy a book, or passing on a small impulse buy to put that money into your investment account. Every single small choice is a step towards your freedom. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If any of this sparks some ideas for you, I'd be so grateful if you hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and I would absolutely love to read your thoughts and ideas down in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.